podcast with Stacey B and the husband and the husband's extended family.
Yay!
How's everyone doing out there?
We're doing good.
Good. What an episode last night. Pretty crazy.
It was crazy. It was the Hometown Visits episode, which means we're down to the final four. It's unbelievable that we're here.
It is. You mean like in the show or the fact that we're in San Diego?
Both. I mean, the fact that I'm watching the hometown date visit with my in-laws is very telling.
Well, it was a lot of fun, and it was quite a little, we sweated it out to get back to the hotel to make the show.
The problem was that the hibachi chef took a really long time making all the food, so, where everyone's looking at their watch, because I'm sure everybody wants to be back for the start of the Bachelor show.
Well, that's what I meant, too. I wasn't worried about making the start time. I was worried about the meat sweats I had from eating all the red meat.
The meat sweats can be very tricky.
They can be. But anyway, Eli, can you go shut that door?
We're trying to figure out what we're doing today in San Diego. It's a very, involved process because there's a lot of people. But the good thing is that now we have some time to do our review of last night's show. So what did you think of last night?
Well, I thought it was, it was just lovely. I don't know. It was fine. Every girl loves him. It was nice to see, one of the dads kind of be like, this is crazy, and we're very skeptical. But yeah, I mean,
no
it seems
drama
like,
though. It was a pretty even-keeled
show.
And
then, of course, the biggest surprise was, it seems like Courtney is like a different person.
Do you think that they told her to be, I guess, remorseful over her actions with the previous shows?
I'm sure someone sat down with her and said, "Look, you're one of the final four. You have a real opportunity. Obviously we've shown you say some of the kind of the mean things that you've said. It might be good for you to, offer up some half-hearted apology. I don't know."
Yeah. So we have some newcomers that watched the show with us last night for the very first time, and they happen to be with us in this room. So we have a couple of questions because it's always interesting to get a new person's perspective on the show. Someone that's never seen it before, totally fresh pair of ears and eyes. So let's ask them some questions, the husband. What do you think?
All right. I think that sounds good.
Okay. My first question is for my niece, Livia, 11 years old in the room. Livia, out of the four remaining women from last night, Stacey B, Lindsay, Courtney, and Nikki, which one was your favorite and why?
I liked Stacey B because she seemed really nice and just easygoing.
Good answer. That is a good answer. Stacey B is a very likable character. I think everybody enjoyed her and found her very down to earth. Eli, the nephew, is already leaving the room. He cannot stand this
I don't
talk.
blame him. That's exactly how I felt.
Eli, get back here. We have some questions for you. Eli, which of the four women did you think was the most attractive?
Well,
let me ask you a more specific question. Did you think that the model was pretty?
Sure, but it looked like they had lots of makeup on just to be fancy for him.
Also, a very good answer. That is true. They have tons of makeup on.
It's it's always nice to see the girls when they're waking up in the house and they have no makeup on, because then you get a real idea of what they really look like. And that's important.
Yes. Okay, now I have a very important question for our youngest viewer here. Her name is Ava. She is 7.5 years old. Ava had a very wise comment last night, and I want to ask her a little bit more about it. She was completely, appalled by the fact that Ben, our bachelor, was about to go meet a potential mother or father-in-law who doesn't drink, because Ben is a winemaker. So, Ava, my question is, do you think that Ben's future father-in-law, the one that doesn't drink, was going to like him as a winemaker?
No, I don't think so, because he was a winemaker. Who would like wine? Who would like a winemaker if they don't drink wine or anything?
Oh my God, she's so smart.
That makes a lot of sense.
This family, the IQ in here, I can barely fit in. I mean, they're all like, they've got such smart answers.
Mind you, you married me despite the fact that my parents are vegan and vegetarian. But so that's very kind of you.
Oh my gosh! All right. Well, are there any other questions that we need to know here?
I don't know. Is there anything that they hinted at the following week that looked interesting or that jumped off the page?
Well, you know what was interesting is that they're going to Switzerland, and normally in the last week when we do the exotic overnight dates, they don't go to Switzerland. They go to places like tropical islands, and everyone's hair's frizzy again. And interestingly enough, the last person that just entered the room is my mother-in-law, who is a big fan of the show. She watches every episode. She was watching with us last night. We definitely have to ask some questions for her.
Sure. Come on over.
Oh my goodness.
Come on over. We
over
have to speak into the mic.
You got to speak into the mic. We might have a question or two for you.
So, just a couple questions. Who do you think that Ben is going to end up with out of the last three? We got Courtney. We got Casey B's gone. We've got Lindsay and Nikki.
I think it's between Nikki and Lindsay and Courtney.
Lindsay and Courtney?
Yeah.
Why?
You're putting me on the spot. I had no idea I was talking here. Well, he's always had this thing for Courtney.
Yes.
So that just might go all the way. We're seeing a softer side of her. Maybe they're trying to turn us around. So that,
do that with the editing.
to make us, like the idea that that's who he's going to wind up with. Lindsay seems down to earth, that kind of like grew up like he grew up sort of thing. And
he likes his parents, right? Because he said his dad likes the salt of the
right,
earth and all that
right,
stuff.
yes.
Yeah. Her parents are salt of the earth. Interestingly, I read in, I think in Ben's blog today on people.com, that he thinks that Nikki's father reminded him of his father, which is always telling when they, bring in, former alive relatives.
Sure. Now, do we have any guesses? I think
Sure.
they hinted that that someone was going to come in and it was going to surprise Ben in Switzerland.
Yes, that's a good question. Who is Ben? Who's coming back for Ben?
Any guesses as to who might come and surprise Ben in Switzerland and try to get a second chance?
His sister maybe coming to give him.
Well, I think his family's going to be there.
Yeah,
right?
his family's going to be
his
there.
family will be there because they're going to meet the last three, but it's got to be one.
It's got to be a shocking surprise because he was pretty shocked when he opened that door.
There were some.
So
yeah,
who could it be? Could it be
words.
like Ashley coming back to give him some advice?
I'm hoping it's
Chantel, round 2,
to take care of his body.
or maybe it's Casey B being like,
prepping.
"Look, like I'm sorry that you think my parents are not going to be into me, and or into you, but let's make this work."
Right.
You were.
It's KCB.
What, maybe it's KCB's dad, and he's going to show up with a bourbon in his hand and be like, "Look, take my daughter back. I've started drinking." I don't know. It's
possible.
Anyway, well, I think there's a lot of interesting things that are going to happen, and this was a fun episode. It was
By the
fun.
way, my father-in-law is sitting in the room too, but I have too much respect for him to ask him any questions about this show. He was wisely hiding in the other room while we were watching last night. So.
Yes, so
Nothing
personal. Anyway, well, it's been fun. We're having a good time in sunny California, and we will, I guess, do this again in the lovely confines of our New York City apartment. But we hope you all enjoyed the episode. We hope you all are still listening to this. If you are, you have no life. And yeah, well, thank you for listening, and we'll
see you in Switzerland.
Yes, we'll see you in Switzerland. Are we going?
Would be nice.
Okay. All right. We'll look into it. All right. For Stacey B and the husband, this is the husband and my in-laws and.
Not your in-laws. This is your actual.
Oh, this
family.
is my family.
It's my in-laws.
It's her in-laws. They raised me. Okay. Well, we're gonna sign off now. Oh, it's the California sun is getting to my brain. Anyway, take care, everyone. Have a wonderful afternoon or night, whenever you're listening. Great. Bye-bye.
Bye.